Rugby World Rankings, folks, after one round of the Six Nations 2024. Where are the teams at? How have they kind of changed in their pointage? And what are the possible permutations for round number 2? Can Ireland pass South Africa as number 1? We'll go through them and you guys can let us know your thoughts. South Africa are still number 1. Last game they played was that Rugby World Cup final. They are top of the world, world champions, and top of the Rugby World Rankings. Personally, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Mainly because I don't think Ireland can pass them, mathematically. Ireland have got home games. The way the Rugby World Rankings works is, if a team is more than 10 points below you, you can't take points off them. And for a home game, you are scored at kind of +3. So Ireland's on 92.11. But for home games, they'll be scored at 95.11. Look at the gap between them and the rest of the teams. If they take points off them, they're going to be very marginal. They do have an away game against England where England will be scored at +3. So if they were to get a win over England away, Ireland might score some points, but I don't think it's going to be enough to catch the box, even if Ireland go ahead and get a Grand Slam. But certainly number 2 in the world, and looking after one round, by far the best team. Is still pretty impressive. New Zealand, obviously no change, haven't been in action. France did lose at home pretty heftily to Ireland, so they've lost points down to 86.28, but they didn't lose any positions because they didn't lose enough to drop below England. England unusually took points off the Italians. The gap between those sides is often so great that there is no points change. If England had been at home, the gap between those sides would have been more than 10, with England being scored at kind of that +3 home advantage. So they wouldn't have taken anything, but because they were away, they did manage to get some points, and Scotland did manage to take some away points off the Welsh. So again, they are up, but not enough to change spots in the log. Argentina, no change. Wales have lost points. Australia, Fiji, no change on this side of the board. Italy on the other side of the board did lose some points, but they are kind of, for a change, the top ranked of the teams on that side of the board. Often Italy has dropped below the likes of Georgia and Japan and whatnot at times, mainly because they play so many games against the Six Nations teams, so they tend not to win many points, but that's just kind of one of the things about the way the rankings works. Japan, no change. Georgia did play at the weekend. They managed to get a win over Germany, 28-17, but no points exchanged, with the gap being too great. Samoa, Tonga are up, but mainly because Portugal's down. I got the Portugal jersey on. Portugal suffered a shock loss in that Rugby Europe Championship, 6-10 to Belgium. So they lost a full 2 points. 2 points outside the World Cup is the most you can lose in any one game. So Portugal were ranked well above the Belgians, who were like in 29th spot. The Portuguese were in 13th. So Portugal beat Fiji. They were supposed to get this done, and they got beaten. So yeah, Belgium have a massive gain, and that massive gain sees Portugal drop like a stone. So Tonga, Samoa, and Georgia didn't have to get any points. It just meant Portugal dropped below them. USA, Uruguay, obviously no changes, and then Spain and Romania with their wins. Spain over the Netherlands, and the Romanians beat Poland. They managed to take some marginal gains. But Spain's was bigger, so they've actually passed the Romanians. So that's how the world rankings are sitting. I think it kind of makes sense at the moment, the way the teams' kind of results went and the way the world rankings are lined up. But we'll see how things change at the weekend. There's some pretty fine margins between the likes of England and Scotland, and Wales is kind of still in that chasing pack with a bit of a hangover from the Wayne Pivac era in terms of their pointage. But we'll see how they go. Encouraging signs despite their loss. France can't catch New Zealand, even if they are to get a win away at Murrayfield this weekend, but they could drop below England if they lose. Scotland could go above England if they win, but it kind of depends on how the England result goes. England can get a really marginal gain if they win, but they are at home over Wales. The gap between them is already 85 to 79. Remember, they're going to be scored at +3 at home, so they'll be scored at 88, so it's almost a full 10-point gap. So, yeah, the gains for England will be pretty negligible if they get a win over the Welsh, but the Welsh could pass the Argentinians if they had to pick up an away win. Ireland, obviously, will get no gain over the Italians. They've been 92 down to 75, and then plus Ireland scored at +3. Yeah, Ireland's getting nothing out of that game, but they would certainly drop a full 2 points if they lost. It'd be a shock loss to the Italians, and yeah, the Italians could pass Australia and Fiji if they were to win, so they get themselves on the side of the board. Yeah, that's the Rugby World Rankings. You guys let us know your thoughts. Check out the video I did with Paul Gustard yesterday. He talked up the Irish in terms of their really low error rate and how they made the French make a bunch of mistakes. Obviously, he's the current defence coach over in Stade Francais, so he knows all about that French side, and former England defence coach, former Harlequins head coach. So it was a really good chat with him. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You guys let me know your thoughts on how fair or not you think the Rugby World Rankings are, and yeah, whether you think they're important. Some people think so, some people less so. I like them because I find them a kind of interesting gauge of where the team's at, even if they are not perfect. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Together.